It's such a pretty day outside. The sun is shining. Tank is clean. Okay, I'm getting a little mixed up here. But anyways, what's up everybody? It's your boy, Vitamin M, coming at you with another video of Pokemon Silver here in episode 2 here. In the last episode, we started this grand adventure of ours, which is awfully familiar to me, but maybe new to some of you guys. And we're already starting off with Wild Battle here. But we're on our way to Mr. Pokemon's house, as poor of a name as that is, and we're going to be just getting along here as we go. So I'm just going to be attacking this Pidgey here, but in this video I wanted to work my way towards Mr. Pokemon while explaining some of the mechanics of Pokemon. I know a lot of you are probably familiar with this, but this is something I really want to go over for those who are not familiar with this. So obviously, you know, we're just attacking here. If you noticed the EXP bar here now, it's not the same as it was before. I had actually forgotten to save and everything. So you can grow levels as you fight different animals and stuff like that. I know that's a little ugh. But anyways, your stats will go up as well. They'll go up at different rates depending on which Pokemon it is, and natures weren't a thing in this game, so that doesn't affect your stats in any way here. So, with that in mind, and as you go along here, you'll learn some new moves at different levels here. So you can only have 4 moves at a time. So if you want to learn a 5th one, you will have to replace one. So Cyndaquil here learns Smokescreen. That's going to be a really nice move early on for some things. So, okay. But anyways, there were a couple other things I did want to explain. This game was the first one to introduce something called held items. Now I know that's a very common thing now in Pokemon, but back in Red and Blue that wasn't a thing. So you can actually have a Pokemon hold an item, and depending on what the item is, it can have a different significance depending on sometimes it can have a different significance period. So you may get an item that may double the money that you earn from trainer battles. You may get an item that you wanted to hold that will up the power of, let's say, fire moves, and all sorts of good stuff like that. And you can actually have it hold on to really any item, and you can have it hold on to something called berries, which is very familiar now, but back in the day was something brand spanking new. So berries grow on trees, you can pick those up, and they can have different effects. They can cure special conditions that you might get right away, or they can cure some health. So now that I'm in the yellow health here, if Cyndaquil did not have used his berry earlier, you would have seen him use it and he would have regained 10 HP. But I need to really beat this Pidgey here. I don't want to die. Okay. But anyways, gosh, you're going to be coming across a lot of wild battles. So, am I going to get to Mr. Pokemon's house? Come on. But this is Sentret here, so he's a normal type and everything, but I'll be getting into types here soon. The other thing is there's a whole variety of different stats that govern how a Pokemon will play. Okay, no thank you. So Run, you can get away. Run is very much based off of speed, and so the higher your speed is, if you go faster, or if you go before the Pokemon you're fighting, the more likely you're going to be able to get to run away. If you're a slow Pokemon, you have a less of a chance of running away. So this Rattata is level 4, so there might be a chance we might not get to run away, but we're faster anyways. So take that. Alright, get out of the grass. Okay, here we go. So we have made our way over to Cherry Grove City here. And now there's this guy here. You really want to talk to this guy. That's okay. Everyone at some point's a rookie. If you like it, I can teach you a few things. Alright, sure. Okay then, follow me. So he'll kind of show you around town here. So this is a Pokemon Center. They heal your Pokemon in no time at all. You'd be relying on them a lot, so you better learn about them. This is a Pokemon Mart. They sell balls, not steal balls, for catching wild Pokemon and other useful items. Route 30 is out this way. Trainers will be battling their prized Pokemon there. Okay, so that's kind of handy to know. This is the sea, as you can see. Some Pokemon are found only in water. Now that's true, so will we need an item to catch some certain things, or will we have an ability later that will give us the ability to find some of those Pokemon? Here, it's my house. Thanks for your company. Let me give you a small gift. So Vitamin M received the map card, so this will just allow you to have a card in your Pokegear which allows you to have the town map on you. Pokegear becomes more useful as you add cards. I wish you luck on your journey. So we can add cards as we go along our way here, and they'll be coming in handy for a lot of different things. The map card's not overly necessary, but there'll be some later that'll be good. So here we can go to this Pokemon Center, and you can heal all your Pokemon by talking to the nurse here. You know, Nurse Joy and whatnot, so that's pretty good. And then over there is the PC right here, so you can go to the PC. I'm going to turn on the PC. So Bill's PC, we don't know exactly who Bill is, I'm sure some of you guys do, but we don't know who he is quite yet. Bill's PC access, Pokemon storage system open. So, with this, you can only have 6 Pokemon at a time on you, and any that you don't have will be stored in here. So you can withdraw or deposit Pokemon, kind of change around your team, and there's only 20 per box to be stored. So if the box is full, you cannot catch any additional more Pokemon, which, make sure your box is empty, because if it's not, that will come to bite you later, which is awfully terrible. But you can basically use that to rearrange your Pokemon and different stuff like that. Vitamin M's PC is just the item withdrawal storage. So we'll be able to access that and put some items in there that we don't want to use. The Mart here is going to be helpful for some different items here. Welcome, how may I help you? You can buy items, you can sell items. So we got potions, antidotes. Antidotes cure poison, so poison will be a status condition that it'll subtract some health from you each turn. If you're badly poisoned, it'll take a lot more damage on you. Paralysis heal. If your Pokemon is paralyzed, its speed will be cut in half, and you have a chance of not attacking because you're paralyzed. Awakening, you go to sleep, and from 2 to 5 turns, you may wake up in between there, but ultimately you can't attack if you're asleep. And cancel. So we'll be getting there'll be some other ones later. There's also frozen, where if you're frozen, you can't attack, and some other different things like that. But before I go any further here, there were some other things I did want to explain. So if we open up Pokemon, take a look at our Cyndaquil. Or, shoot, wrong button. You can press switch to switch the order of Pokemon. So the Pokemon at the top of the list here is the one that will be coming first out into battle. So we take a look at stats here. In the lower right corner there, you can see how much EXP you need to the next level. So that's awfully handy there. Total EXP points. Type Fire. So there'll be some dual types. Cyndaquil is just a pure Fire type. Item, that'll tell you what your held item is there. Move, that'll tell you the list of moves. It won't give you a description, that's another thing that I'll get to in a sec here. But if we go all the way over here, we have attack, defense, special defense, and speed. Now these are the different stats that affect a Pokemon and their ability to attack and take hits and pretty much when they go first in battle. So attack is your physical attacks. That the higher that is, the greater they will possibly do damage with the calculator that's used in-game. Defense is its ability to take physical attacks. Special attack and special defense were actually for special in red and blue, and they were divided in this game and from all games onward. Special attack is your ability to use special attacks, how well you can do those. Basically, I think of those as projectile moves, but if you're more familiar with other RPGs, they kind of work very similar to magic in a sense, but you don't have a magic meter or anything like that to worry about. Special defense is your ability to take or tank, you know, essentially stand up to special attacks. And speed is ultimately, the higher it is, the more likely you might be able to go first in battle. So faster Pokemon will be able to go first, and slower ones will be able to go last. Pick that as you may. But the really important thing with this is from generations 1 to 3, whether the attack you did was a physical attack affected by the attack stat or the defense stat, or whether it was a special attack or affected your special defense, was very much tied to what type the attack was. So, physical types only did physical damage and only affected attack and defense. And those types were actually normal, fighting, flying, poison, ground, rock, bug, ghost, and steel, as you can see on the left. So, if Cyndaquil had a normal attack, which it does, which is tackle, it will be using the attack stat. If it gets hit by, let's say, a ground attack, its defense stat is going to be calculated with that. So even if you do, let's say, with what may appear to be a projectile attack, if it's a bug-type move, it will be a physical attack, unfortunately. The physical special split, as is called, did not happen until Generation 4. Yeah, so what are the types that affect special attack and special defense? Well, that's a good question. Here we have fire, water, grass, electric, psychic, ice, dragon, and dark. And those are all affecting special attack, special defense. So if I had, let's say, a flamethrower with my Cyndaquil here, that would be affecting my special attack stat in the calculator, and if I took a water attack, that'd be affecting my special defense in the calculator for how much damage it's going to take. So, with that in mind, some Pokemon in this game are kind of useless because of this. So you have a Pokemon such as Sneasel, which is a dark ice type, which has a really, really high attack stat and a really bad special attack and special defense stat, meaning that its same type attack bonus stat moves are only special and not physical, so it doesn't get to really use that physical stats as much, which is really unfortunate because Sneasel is definitely a pretty good Pokemon. So with that in mind, that can really affect your choices. So something like Gyarados may not be the best for water, but you just want to keep that in mind. So even if it is something like Ice Punch, as much as that sounds physical, it will be treated as a special attack in this game, because it's dependent on the type. So just keep that in mind as you're going about things there. So, with that in mind, that's something you really want to keep in mind, obviously. So with that in mind, we move on to the next thing here, type advantages and disadvantages. So I mentioned Pokemon has very much a rock, paper, scissors based gameplay to it. So, obviously, I'm not going to go through all of the weaknesses and everything such as that, but basically, water puts out fire, fire puts out the grass, grass somehow is really good against water. I don't know, but basically you can look those up, but there is very much that rock, paper, scissors mechanic to a lot of the different types that you want to keep in mind as you go about things. If you do an offensive attack against a certain type, it might be super effective, do double damage, or it might be not very effective, does half as much damage. So let's say you use an ice attack on a Dragonite, which is going to be Dragon Flying type, and both of those types are weak to ice. So it's going to be ×4 effective on it if you can take care of those dual types. And some types are going to be completely invulnerable to other ones. So the ground type is the best one of this. Getting it right into a wild battle. The ground type is the best example of this, where all electric attacks will not be able to hit a ground type. So I didn't want to go into too much detail on those, but that is something you do want to keep in mind as you're going about playing. These type advantages, disadvantages, different stuff like that. So, yeah. And then obviously I pressed move there, as you saw earlier. Basically you can hover over a move, and it will tell you what the attack power is, what it does, and if it has a chance to inflict any special conditions or anything like that. The other thing I forgot to mention is the stats, attack, defense, likewise. They can be lowered and raised during battle. So they can be raised and lowered by 6 stages. If something in-game says it went up by 1 stage. If it went sharply down, or sharply up or harshly down, it went up or down by 2 stages. Now, if your attack stat, let's say, is affected by this, it means it's not permanently affected. It's just how it's going to appear in battle. I don't want to fight Weedle because he has a chance to poison me, which would really suck. But we're just chugging along here, and we're almost there to Mr. Pokemon's house, but that is something you do really want to keep in mind. So, I know this video is probably going to be a big crash course to those of you not really familiar with Pokemon, but that's okay. But hey, that's alright. So, as we can see here, this is Mr. Pokemon's house. But we got this tree over here. What can we do with this? It's a fruit-bearing tree. Hey, it's a poison cure berry. So we obtained a poison cure berry. So we can obtain different berries like that, and then we can have them be held by our Pokemon, and they can have some different effects. So let's say Cyndaquil got poisoned in battle, and it was holding a poison cure berry, it will automatically cure the poison status condition. At least this isn't Final Fantasy VII where I can turn into a frog. That would really suck. But here we are at Mr. Pokemon's house, and I think this is a good it's hard to talk today. I think it's a good spot to stop the video. So, next time on Pokemon Silver, we're going to be seeing what's up with Mr. Pokemon and this so-called discovery he's made. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Vitamin M, I'm out, dudes.